What is up, you guys? Your girl Nicole Denise. I am here to show you this quick recipe of how I make potato butternut squash hash. Now yesterday I decided to experiment with whatever I had in my cabinet. Didn't know what I was making, but came up with this and decided to cook it again today. So first I started off with a little bit of canola oil, as you can see, and then I added just 2 small russet potatoes that I peeled and diced into bite-sized pieces. So basically the oil is just going to fry these potatoes and get them tender. So that's what I'm doing. I like to use tongs, and I am using a non-stick pan, but I still think that when you're cooking something like a hash, you still need some type of oil. You can use butter, but butter can easily burn, so I decided to use a little bit of canola oil. So as you can see, my potatoes are starting to get a little bit of color, and it's at this point that I decide to add my diced red onions. Now you can use whatever type of onions you want. Again, like I said, this is what I had in my pantry, so, well, in my refrigerator, because I had another half of an onion from cooking something else. So I just diced up some onion. This is probably about 1/4 of an onion. I just kept it in big pieces because hash, now don't quote me now, I'm not a chef, but I think hash is just when you cut up stuff in the same size and kind of like do what I'm doing, fry it all together. So right now I'm just letting my onions you know, fry up with the potatoes as the potatoes begin to get tender. So here we go, is another clip. I hit my camera, as you can see. I done moved out of frame. But I had some frozen bell peppers. That's something I always keep in my freezer. Frozen bell peppers and frozen onions. Not my favorite, but are a go-to when I don't feel like cutting up no onions or nothing like that. So had a few more of those. Mix that in. Again, my onions, potatoes, and bell peppers are now still frying. And this is where I add my seasonings. I start with onion powder because I believe onion powder makes the world go round. So it's probably in anything that I cook. Also, I added a little bit of garlic powder. I also then added a little bit of adobo seasoning. Now I use very little amounts of this because it's very salty, but it does have a good flavor. Then I add my go-to seasoning, which is Badia's Complete Seasoning. It's very flavorful and it's not salty at all. So I mix that up, starting to look like something because it's getting some color. And yeah, I let the flavors kind of marinate in there, but then I was like, this needs something else. So I had some paprika that I got from an event with the Chef and Pearls, so I added that in there because it's really good Spanish paprika. You can get the hot kind, but this is just the regular. And then I also added some cumin because cumin is a season that I really like as well because I am a Mexican fanatic. Anything Mexican tasting or flavor, I am all about it, and cumin is just one of those seasonings that I really like. So I let that continue to cook together, and this is the point where I actually start to add my frozen butternut squash cubes. Now please use fresh. I recommend fresh, but I had this because I saw it in my store and I had never seen it before. So I said, well, let me try this. Let me see what I could do with some cubed butternut squash. Now if you do use fresh, you need to put that in at the same time that you do the potatoes because they need to get tender as well. But still cut it up in the same size cubes and everything like that, like the same size as the potato, so they can always cook at the same time. So yeah, now I'm tasting for doneness. Gave you the thumbs up because the potatoes are tender. So I let that sit for just a little while. I adjust my seasons. I add some more onion powder, and then I add a little bit of kosher salt, because it wasn't quite seasoned enough for me because, like I said, I used a small amount of that adobo. Then I decided I had some other stuff in my refrigerator, so I said, let me make a whole, and I put 2 handfuls of spinach in there. So yeah, spinach wilts down, so it may look like a lot, but it's really not a lot. So yeah, I decided to mix in some baby spinach, and now this is starting to look like something that is really appetizing. So mix that in, let it wilt, and boom. And usually with hashes, you know, people You put a fried egg over this, or you can eat it with whatever you want to eat it with. So it was at this point that I said, wait a minute now, I'm missing something, which is my red pepper flakes. I like spicy anything, so added a few of those. And yeah, I think I added a little bit more garlic powder at that point. I'm not sure what that was, but I know I added red pepper flakes to this stage. And here comes the airplane interrupting my voiceover, but it's all good. But yeah, you just keep mixing. At this point, it's done. And like I said, you can fry an egg, put it over it. You can eat it with, you know, bacon or whatever, but I just ate mine with a salad. So I hope you enjoyed this short video. If you want to see more things like this, go ahead, share and like and comment below and say, hey Nicole, I want to see you cook more stuff, and I will add that to my actual YouTube page, where you can find me at NicoleDeniseTV.com.